Hi, it's Rachael Lewinsky. I'm a mindfulness instructor, and I'm very excited to be here at Eden's Bluff Garden to give a mindful garden tour. And you guys are invited to create your own mindful garden tour at home, which is so great. It's one of my favorite things to do, especially in the summer, but any time of the year, to be out in nature and to practice being more mindful. So when we're being mindful, we are practicing being super present, like really paying attention to everything going on right now. So that can be things around us, and that can also be even thoughts and feelings that we have inside of us. So when we practice being mindful, we want to pay attention on purpose to what's going on without having an opinion about it necessarily, without judging it, and you also want to be really curious about everything, like you're just kind of studying things, observing things. So that's what we're going to do in the garden, and I'm very excited. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to take a moment and just sit. So this is a great bench to sit at to start our mindful garden tour. So go ahead and take a moment and take some deep, slow breaths. And we often practice that we think about like the breath is our spirit and it's in us all the time and it's flowing, and we're so grateful for this amazing life that we have. So to start your practice that way, to start your tour and your experience is really important. It's to start with that intention. So now we're gonna move mindfully through the garden. So we're gonna get up, and Pastor Jim's gonna follow me because he's a very good cinematographer, we've learned. So when you do anything mindfully, especially if you're doing like a nature experience, or you might find that you're walking a little bit slower than normal. So I like to think like I'm meandering. So if I'm doing a forest bathing session or whatever, it's not like I'm doing a hike for exercise. I'm just kind of enjoying, I'm just exploring. And I'm paying attention with my senses. And so sight, and so one thing that caught my attention, my eye, is this beautiful little butterfly. So in this moment, I'm paying attention to the things around me, and this beautiful little butterfly floated past, and it's got some really interesting details where, oh, Jim can't find it. I noticed it had a little black spot on its wing. So sight is a really important way to pay attention mindfully. So I'm being curious, I'm kind of paying attention to all of the details I see. I do notice there are a lot of bees around, and we all know that bees can sometimes sting us. So when we're mindful, we're paying attention. We want to be respectful and make sure we give the bees their space. So I'm just kind of looking. I'm like kind of looking through everything with my eyes. Ooh, and what's really cool is if I see something that's kind of interesting, kind of like a camera, I'm going to zone in on that. So, and maybe Jim can even do it. These are a little bit, I think these are a little bit old, but I remember these, I think, used to be purple. And if you notice now, I've actually changed to another sense, my sense of touch. And so very gently, as best you can, you kind of notice the feel. So notice I'm being really kind to the plant. I'm not trying to squish, and I know that's sometimes hard when we're younger. So your parents can help you out with that, or if someone is around. But I had my moment, I was looking, and then I saw something I really wanted to study a little bit deeper. So I went really close, and I started using another sense. So, all right, I'm gonna keep moving. And everybody's garden is different. So this is obviously the church garden, which you can come and explore, especially starting in September when outdoor opportunities start again. And Wednesdays as well, you can come with someone that can help you move through the garden. Well, looks like Jim has found something. Oh, he's doing the grow. So here's another thing I might notice with touch. It's like, look at these really interesting little, I almost can't even feel them. They're so soft. And being mindful, I'm paying attention. Oh, there might be a bee around. I think I'm going to keep moving. Now, I know that this is an herb. I don't remember what, you guys probably know better. Is this oregano? No. So if you know in your garden you have like an herb that smells really cool, it's one of those plants that we put in food that makes things taste better. What I'm doing is I'm kind of squishing the leaves so then I can smell it. So here's my third sense, my sense of smell. And what's really great is if you have that opportunity, when you get something that smells really good, there's some basil over there too, I noticed. See if you can take 5 deep breaths. And all of your attention, your focus is just on that one thing that you're paying attention to. Sometimes we call it an anchor for our attention, our focus. It's just one thing. All right. So that could be something, if you find something in your garden, of course flowers smell so good. So if you find a flower that smells really good. Now this one, I don't know if this one smells. No, not really. But we know what I really like about this one is it's got a really soft leaf. And see how gentle I'm being? So I'm being kind and respectful to the plant while I do it. And then look at all those cool little details. How many petals can you count? Maybe that's something that you pay attention to. How many petals do you see? And what's really important to remember too is when you're going through your little mindful garden tours that you look up and you look at like all the cool kind of waves in the branches, and then you also look down because sometimes we forget that there's things on the ground too. And so I'm just kind of, again, just looking at all the cool things. Maybe it's a lot of times it's stuff we never saw before. And if we don't take time to slow down and smell the roses, we don't even know it's there. So mindfulness can give us a really cool perspective and new vision of things. All right, so now Pastor Jim and Julia, they said I could go in here. So if someone's around and they let you go in and give a garden tour, I'm going to go inside because I know there's some peas over here. And if you noticed, I don't know if you noticed, I paid attention to where I stepped too. I feel my feet on the ground. And I found a delicious pea pod. Oh, what is that one?
Patty pan.
Patty pan. I don't even know if I've ever had a patty pan.
Squash.
Oh, it's a squash. Okay. So obviously I'm not going to eat this right now. But you can imagine if you go home and you find this from your garden and you take a moment and appreciate this beautiful piece of God's creation that gives us energy and us nourishment, and you're grateful. You take a moment of gratitude. You go, wow, this is amazing. So then when you go home and you make food with it, you can be mindful with your taste. So I'm just going to take a moment and really enjoy this one pea pod. It's really cool. A lot of times things taste even better if you slow down and you put all your focus onto what you're doing while you're doing it. It's really neat. I've never even really looked at how shiny that is with the water that's in it. So you can look, taste, and just appreciate. All right, did we get all the senses? Feel, touch, taste. Oh, hearing, thank you. Yes, okay, this is our last one. So Now I'm paying attention on purpose with my ears, and I just heard a bee fly past me, or a fly. What you could do is pick maybe 5 different animal sounds that you can notice. So my first one was that bee that went past. Oh, I just heard a crow. I think, oh no, maybe that was I don't know, it was a bird. A blue jay maybe. I heard another bird way over there. So even notice like the farthest bird you can hear. Notice where the sound is coming from. And then I hear some crickets, and they're kind of all around. So see if you can pick 4 or 5 different animal sounds and notice where they come from. All right. Well, that is our garden tour. And I hope that you guys have a lot of fun with this and really take the time to show your parents, because they need some time to slow down and appreciate things too. So stay tuned for more information from Jim and Julia, and we'll see you next time.